Welcome to Two Chicks and a Horror Flick, a weekly horror movie review podcast. I'm Tawny Ray.
And I'm Felicia Connor. Subscribe to get new episodes every Wednesday. We dive into trivia, drink a little whiskey, and of course, give our no BS opinions.
Join our Discord server or message us on social media to talk all things scary.
And if you like the show, consider supporting us on Patreon.
You can find all these links on our website, twochicksandahorrorflick.com. Thanks for listening.
Now let's get scared.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. Today we're going to be talking about Evil Dead Rise, brand spanking new from 2023. But before we get into all that, Felicia, what are you drinking?
So I am drinking lemon water with the infamous lemons from outside. Since we're recording on Sunday night and I have to wake up early and train some folks, I thought I should be responsible and drink the water.
That's good. Responsible.
Yeah.
Adult-like of you.
Yeah, that doesn't happen very often. I'm just kidding. How about you?
Well, I'm drinking a Truly. I
Nice.
went the other direction for weird reasons, though. We are having, because we're here in the new house, and I was having water problems. Our Brita filter is disgusting. The water filter in the fridge at this new place, I refuse to use it. I'm having I don't know, a whole OCD thing about the kitchen and anything that, we eat or cook with or ingest, whatever. So I'm like, I got to replace the water filter. Well, I didn't know that you have to run 4 gallons of water through the water filter before you drink it. So I literally just did that an hour and a half ago or something. But I don't have time to fucking stand there and hold the water button for however long it's going to take to get 4 gallons of water out of that thing. So I just had to abandon it. But we're out of bottled water too. And also I'm afraid to drink from the tap, which is dumb. I'm sure the tap water is fine. But anyway, the only canned or bottled thing that we have are Trulies. So I didn't actually want to drink tonight, but here I am.
I don't know what it is, because I know when I was a kid, I drank water out of the hose when we were playing outside, but now, no, not at all. Someone goes to pour water from the sink, well, they wouldn't. First of all, even if we didn't have bottled water, we would, I don't know, we'd have to go get it. I mean, obviously, if we're dying, we drink it out of the sink, but do not drink sink water.
No,
or faucet water. No way.
I'm glad that you feel the same way, because I was like, this is me being ridiculous now.
No way.
But Jade said the same thing. Jade goes, I'll never go back.
Yeah, no way. Just too scared. What will happen?
Who knows?
Our bodies will reject it for sure.
So I'm gonna puke for sure. No,
yes, for sure.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to do a bottled water run or something after this.
Yeah, we just got ours yesterday. We have a water filter in our fridge, and this is not important, but since I started, I'll just tell you. For some reason, unless there's lemon in it or something like that, it tastes like a little chlorine or something, but it's not. It's a brand new filter and everything that they put in, but I don't know.
Yeah. It's a preference thing.
That's it.
Yep. That's why I don't like the tap water. I'm actually not afraid of what's in the tap water. It's the taste of the tap water is weird. So, but it might not be in this new house. I'm not going to find out.
You'll never know. You'll never know.
Anyway. Okay. Well, what have you been up to? Give me your update.
Okay. So I have it right here on my notes. I watched Whitney Houston, I Want to Dance with Somebody on Netflix.
Okay.
And loved it. Loved it. Especially because we just Steve and I grew up with her music. And so I recognized everything they were doing there. It was beautifully done. It was very, very nice. I liked that a lot. Then I watched a horror movie by myself.
Oh.
And it's called The Offering. And it is on Hulu, and it is an Orthodox Jewish community. It's around Hasidic Jewish community. And I was like, Judaism and horror? Let's do this. I didn't have high expectations, but I have to tell you, I liked it, and I really liked the ending. I think it's worth a watch just to even see the ending, but I thought it was really well done, and I'm excited because it was just totally random, and I liked it, and I totally didn't think it would be
worth anything.
This is going to be dumb. And I liked it a lot.
Someone told Jade this week, I think, to tell me to watch it. And so
maybe we need to do it at some point or watch it. And then maybe you'll be like, nah, I don't want to do it, or you do.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm definitely going to have to check it out though. Now that it's gotten brought up twice in a week for me.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah. Okay.
I liked it. Okay. So after that, I was like on a rush and I was like, oh, I'm going to watch another one. So I watched Pure on Hulu, and I didn't hate it. It was an interesting story. I find that fascinating. I wrote a grad paper on that, what are they called? It totally escaped me, but that Christian, and not all Christians do this, but that ceremony of where the daughter pledges their purity and their virginity to their father,
right?
Promising to keep pure, and it's like a wedding. I wrote a whole thing on it because I thought it was bizarre, but I'm not trying to judge. So anyway, I liked the Lilith take on it, and the end was kind of like a hell yeah, but not. If somebody asked me, should I watch it? And I guess that's what we're here for. We review shit. I would say if you do, it's not like you're going to be like, I wish I didn't watch that because I wasted my life, but you're not missing anything.
Yeah. I also watched this, and I agree.
You agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible, but it's not like you're not missing anything.
Yeah.
All right. So then I watched, the last thing I wanted to share that I watched was the NFL draft. Okay. So I don't know who any of these kids are that are getting drafted. I know nothing. I'm not invested in any way.
Yeah.
But I started to watch it, and I was so emotional because I was thinking of these boys, that how much they've put into it, that they went all through peewee football and high school and college. And now this is like their dreams coming true. And that moment when they call their name and the families are excited, dude, I've been binging the NFL draft.
Okay.
It's been very exciting. And then last but not least, I'm reading with Mark from A Podcast on Elm Street and Erica from the Horror Cafe podcast, Intercepts. And I'm really liking it. It's by TJ Payne. And I like it a lot so far.
Cool.
That's it. How about you?
Okay. I have no TV movie updates at all. Haven't been able to watch anything basically. Because it's just been busy because we moved over last weekend. Yeah. So it's just been all house stuff all the time, and it has been so fucking busy. We moved in on Saturday. Kind of unpacked on Sunday. Went to go see Evil Dead Rise on Sunday, last Sunday, opening weekend with friends. And then just Monday through Thursday, no Wi-Fi. So I had to go into work. I had to drive there, which is now a foreign concept to me. Drive there and back. So I had to commute all week until Friday, but I took Friday off. We still have kind of spotty internet. It seems like it's doing really well so far. Hoping we don't have issues. But there's some kind of problem happening around us, and we're just at the end of the line, they said. So we're experiencing the worst of it. And so every day after work has been dedicated to unpacking, setting up house stuff. It's just been insanity. And then we leave on Thursday to go to Colorado for a road trip for my best friend's wedding. So super excited, nonstop stuff. But yeah, it's been interesting. We went on a fucking lawnmower journey today that I was kind of keeping you updated on because it was affecting our recording schedule. And it's just damn, dude, we've only been in here for a week. And I feel like I'm living that homeowner life. I'm we need to go get this lawnmower. So there's we got to go pick up the truck to get the lawnmower. Does the lawnmower work? Do we need to get gas? How do we store the gas? How do we store the lawnmower? None of this. Jade knows more about this than me because I never had a lawn growing up and have never had to mow or anything. So it's just all this shit is brand new, and it's a little overwhelming. But then we're how do we mow the lawn? We're going to have to pick up all the poop. We need a poop scoop and a bucket. Okay, we got to get that. We got to go to Lowe's, spent fucking $400 at Lowe's. It's just everybody out there who already owns a home is yeah, bitch, duh. But it's another thing when you're experiencing it. So it's been all house all the time. But I will say I am stoked, dude. This is fucking amazing. And at some point, maybe I feel I'm having a house hunt, or what's it called? honeymoon phase with the house. Like, I'm like, everything's great. Like, the bathroom's great. The sinks are great. The floors are great. It smells great in here. Everything's great. And at some point, maybe I'll be like, oh, this kind of sucks or whatever. But I'm just like on top of the world right now. Super excited.
Oh, I'm so happy for you. I just remember 6 months ago, right? You were putting offers on homes and not getting it and feeling real down. Is this ever going to be a possibility?
Yeah.
And look, dude, 5 months later, 6 months later, and you own a home. Like, you just never know what's going to happen.
I still don't feel like it's real. I'm like, is this actually our life? Do we actually own this house? I can't believe that worked out almost. Like, it's crazy. So it is possible. And somehow we squeaked through and we did it. And it is like, you're right. Like, even just like 2 months ago, like, I went to go get my legs waxed from my leg wax person. And I'm like, the last time I saw you, I was still looking for houses. Now we bought a house and we moved in, like, it all happened so fast. It's just insane. And I'm so fucking excited. And everything has been like falling into place. Like, I've told you a little bit about this, I think, in the front end, but we started to be like, oh, we need outdoor furniture. Well, one of Jade's clients is like, I have all this outdoor furniture that I'm just getting rid of. No one will take it. I've asked everybody in my family. They don't want it. And we're like, we'll fucking take it because it's so expensive, outdoor furniture. Mm-hmm. And then same thing, we're like, we need a lawnmower. And he's like, at a client's house, same client. She's like, oh, I have this lawnmower that I'm getting rid of. And we're like, fuck yeah, dude. Like, so we get that for free. We needed some shelves for this like little laundry area that we have. We go to like take something to the trash. And there's literally like a stack of these plastic shelves right by the dumpster that we were just looking at online for like $60, $80. I know, dude. It's like the universe is delivering, Nice. It's just amazing. That's
great. So good. I'm so happy for you. Thanks. Good job, universe.
I need to show you more of it. I need to do some pictures and stuff, show you around.
Yeah.
My room obviously is not very exciting. There's nothing happening back here yet.
This is like me for a year.
Yeah. We'll get there.
Yeah. Well, that's very cool.
Yeah. That's my update. We watched a little bit of Inglourious Basterds because that's something that we have on DVD.
Ooh, that's
when
we
didn't have internet. Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah. Oh, shit. Love that movie.
Anyway, should we get into it?
Yeah, let's get into it.
I'm excited to hear what you have to say. Okay.
I'm ready for it.
Okay. Okay, so we're talking obviously about Evil Dead Rise from 2023. The director was Lee Cronin. I went and looked at other movies that he had done, and the only one that sort of sounded familiar is called like The Hole in the Ground, I think, from 2019. Haven't seen it. Don't know anything about it, but that's who that is. He also wrote it. It says written and directed by, so. Then for cast, I only grabbed like the main like central group because there's some other people, but I just felt like they were pretty small. So we have Lily Sullivan as Beth, Alyssa Sutherland as Ellie, Gabriel Eccles as Bridget, Morgan Davies as Danny, and Nell Fisher as Cassie. So the budget was $15 million. Box office was $86.5 million. IMDb gives it a 7.2 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes is an 84%. 89% of Google users like this movie. They're always easier to please, And then Letterboxd gave it a 3.6 out of 5.
Okay.
Which was interesting to me. I feel like that's the lowest of those scores. But yeah. And then we saw it in the theater, right? When did you you saw it like recently?
I saw it Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Like Saturday afternoon.
So yesterday.
Oh shit. No.
Right.
What the hell am I talking about? This is absolutely not true. I did not watch it yesterday. I watched it Thursday night after work. I'm sorry. Me and Steve went Thursday night to watch it.
I might need help like remembering some stuff because I saw it on Sunday and I feel like my memory is a little hazy on some of the stuff. But anyway, okay.
Sunday like today? You saw it today?
No, like last week, opening weekend.
Opening weekend. Sorry that you said that. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 minutes with Tawny. Turn back now if you don't want this spoiled for you. It is brand new. Okay, the movie opens with 3 people at a remote cabin. Jessica seems to be sick and scalps her friend and decapitates her boyfriend before levitating above the lake. Then we go back to one day before. Beth, our main protagonist, is a roadie and finds out she's pregnant. She goes to visit her sister and family after this discovery. Her sister Ellie has recently divorced and has 3 kids who are all staying in a high-rise apartment building. Suddenly, an earthquake opens up a hidden room where Danny finds some religious stuff, some phonographs, and of course, a book bound by leather. When Danny plays the phonograph, a priest recites an incantation to bring forth the deadites. Ellie is the first to be possessed and threatens her family. Beth and some other building residents lay her to rest and look for a way out, but they're trapped in the building. Ellie revives and hurts one of her daughters, Bridget. Then they lock her out of their unit. Bridget becomes possessed and attacks the other siblings, but is impaled. She doesn't die, though, obviously, and comes back to get Danny, and then they both die. But then Danny is revived to become a deadite, obviously, because that's what happens. Then they all form together to create some like mega deadite called the Marauder, apparently, that attacks Beth and Cassie, which forces them down into the parking garage. They force the Marauder into a wood chipper, which we learn earlier in the movie is one of the only ways to destroy them. And then they escape. The next morning, Jessica is leaving for her cabin trip and is possessed in the parking garage. So that's how that first scene happens. The end.
Yes.
Okay.
That is the end.
Yes. But is it? Question mark.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Because I think there's going to be another one for sure. Okay, so Felicia, you went to go see this with Steve. Did anyone else go with you?
No. Just us.
Okay. Tell me what you thought about this movie.
All right, I'm telling you. I was disappointed.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it by any means. I thought that I'm sorry. I did not like the story. I didn't like the story. I thought they could have done, I don't know what, but so much more. They had so much to work with to create this story. And I thought it fell flat. I thought Alyssa Sutherland was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Dude, she was fucking terrifying. And I hope I see her in a lot more horror. She might be like a new Toni Collette for me or something. Maybe. Like, obviously she needs to do more to be able to see. But she was so committed. She was so convincing. I loved her. Loved her. And so I see this, and I also liked some of the cinematography, some of the different things, the different views they did, like through the people, just lots of different things that I thought was really, really well done. So you have this great cinematography and this amazing actress. I feel like you could have really just just absolutely nailed it. You could have created something really spectacular with these two pieces. And in my opinion, you didn't. I didn't think any of the other possessed people were even slightly scary. Not her daughter swallowing the glass, just not scary at all for me. She was the only scary piece. I didn't hate her older sister. I thought it was fine. The daughter, the youngest, didn't hate her either. She didn't seem terrified enough, in my opinion. But I mean, kids, it's hard to find. It's just like only that little boy from The Sixth Sense has ever looked truly terrifying. Truly terrified. I thought the mega monster, the human centipede monster at the end, was not scary. I mean, I didn't hate it. But I just was like, if it was just her, I think the whole time it would have been 10 times more scary.
Yeah.
So that's how I felt about it. I don't think I would see it again. I think the 2013 one was way better.
Yeah.
And I was just disappointed that it wasn't better.
Yep.
That's how I feel. How about you?
Great synopsis.
Okay.
I feel the same exact way.
Oh, and I thought you were going to say fucking loved it. And I was like,
no.
Okay, here we go.
No, majorly disappointed. And so was the entire group that we saw it with. Like,
okay.
Including Trevor, who is a major Evil Dead franchise fan. And we were all just like, boo. Like we, left. And I think for me, part of it is probably that it got really overhyped. And I try to avoid everything about movies most of the time, but I couldn't help I couldn't avoid the buzz around this movie. Like, I kept seeing posts that I would read, even just a few words, and people were like, believe the hype. Like, this movie is relentless. Just saw it and it's incredible. Like, don't skip out on this one. And I think it got hyped up for me a little bit. And I'm thinking, yes, this is going to be like a great follow-up to 2013. So I agree with you. I much prefer 2013. It's so much gorier and like awesome. Mm-hmm. It feels to me like they wanted to make a movie like that, but they didn't understand what made that one successful. So they like tried, but it was a major miss. And I just agree with, I think, most of what you said. Like, the acting of the main person was great. She looks really scary. Like, that was awesome. I really liked the set and the setting. Like, I loved the idea of like being in the high rise and all of that. And then I also really liked the aesthetics. Like, I felt like the aesthetics really kind of carried throughout the movie and felt the same, and agreed. I love that, like, people shot and everything. That was all great. And then everything else fell flat. Like, the gore, the kills, it was kind of just forgettable, to be honest. Like, I just was like, whatever. And then I was like, I really tried to give this movie the benefit of the doubt. And that scene where she's like eating the glass and she says something like, there's creepy crawlies in my tummy wummy. I was like, no. I was holding so hard out for this movie, and I was trying so hard to be like, okay, it's okay. We're going to come back. We're going to save it. No, I was like, that was my final straw, and I am fucking done with this. Like, and I don't know. I was like, maybe I'm just being grumpy or like negative or something, but I'm glad to know that you feel the same way, because everybody else fucking like loves it and have said like really, really good things.
I'm glad. I mean, I'm not glad because I want you to enjoy
right,
all the movies. But I was like, oh man, I'm not sure. I was talking to Josh at HMC Studios about it because he had seen it and he was curious, and he really loved it. And I agreed with him, like, and you mentioned it as well. It's cool that they took it out of the cabin and it's in the apartment complex. But what I felt like, it was literally 2 hours of people running from room to room and catching their breath. Yeah. I'm in this room, we fight, we run into this room, we stop, we catch our breath, we have some conversation. The whole thing with her being pregnant too
went nowhere. Made no sense. Yeah, it was like,
and you're telling me that little girl with this horrific stuff happening around her, she's lying under the sofa and that demon says, oh, 2 souls, da, da, da. And that little girl knew what that meant. So when they ran down the hall, she's like, Auntie, are you going to be a mother? Oh, for the fucking, come on.
It's like obviously really, a terrible time. I know. Yeah, even as a child, this is not the time. You know, this is not the time to have that conversation. What the fuck? Yeah.
I agree. Just, there was so many, like, there were corny things like that I just.
Corny.
Yes, very corny. I thought all the, I know I get when you kill them and then they come back to life, but then they're just like, what were they saying in the hallway? Whatever it was.
Dead by dawn.
Dead by dawn. I was just like, this is so dorky. Dude. And then the elevator, I don't know if they meant to or not, but it was so The Shining.
Right. Yeah.
That it threw me.
Me too.
And it's unfortunate. It's not like you could never, ever, ever do blood filling up in an elevator and gushing out, but maybe you can't now because it just makes me think of The Shining. I don't know what to say.
No, I agree. Like, it felt so out of place. I mean, I know that like another staple of Evil Dead movies is a lot of blood. And so like, but I totally felt the same way. And actually, I do have something about that. Because there's a bunch of these like little nods and homages to other things. So one of them is like in the elevator when the blood starts to fill the lit buttons. It mirrors the scene in the original where the projector begins to fill with blood. So I think they were like maybe trying to go for like an Evil Dead reference, but I totally agree. There was something else in the trivia I read in addition to the elevator about there being another Shining reference, but it was like, it felt to me like it was reaching, so I didn't put it in the notes. I was like, I don't know that they meant to do that necessarily.
Yeah. I mean, I liked when the little girl and her were all covered in, but so they were Deep red, just like Ready or Not. Was that the one?
Yeah.
No? Yeah. All pure red. It was just the whites of their eyes. You know, it was a cool look after the fact, but
yeah.
Yeah. And then I don't know. I know they were paying homages, but like the wires in the, the wires in the elevator, like the vines.
Right.
But it's almost like not everything has to be like a vine. Like she was out there in the wilderness and there was vines, but we have to find some way to have these things hold this woman like that too. It almost felt corny instead of like, oh yeah. I don't know, to me.
Yeah. No, I agree totally. Like corny is the best word. Thank you for that. Because corny, it is like that all the way throughout the movie. And I know that like Jade's out here watering this lawn. We're hashtag homeowners, dude.
So cute.
Yeah, it was so corny. And all of the references felt really corny to me as well. Like, I felt almost like they saved him up till the last like 20 minutes. And then somebody went, oh shit, we got to like get some other Evil Dead shit in here. Right. And then right at the end, we have like the chainsaw, Dead by Dawn. Like, what the fuck happened here? I do have a bunch of other things that I can kind of tell you now that were other things. So the pizza place is called Henrietta's, which is a reference to Henrietta Nobi, the demon in the basement in Evil Dead 2. So that's one.
Oh, okay.
On a podcast, the director revealed that all the character names were named after actors that had previously appeared in the Evil Dead series. Just like you were saying, if you look at Ellie's arms, they are wrapped in tattoos of vines. And then, obviously that's a nod to Cheryl from the Evil Dead. There is another character, Bobby Joe from the Evil Dead 2. And then, of course, Mia from the 2013 Evil Dead, who were all attacked and bound by vines. And then the elevator scene, exactly. But it does feel like they're shoehorned in. Like they're not there to, I don't know. Like they don't make sense.
Yeah. Yes. And I'm wondering why, because I know when the newest Jurassic Park came out and it was very obvious homages to the different ones. And I loved it. Maybe that's just because I'm a real big Jurassic Park fan, because I think there were people that didn't like it. But interesting to hear because, well, I liked Evil Dead and you like Evil Dead, but these ones just didn't land right. Yeah. And I'm wondering, okay, so this might make me seem really, really dumb. This is a prequel to, or no, this is after everything happened from the 2013 one?
I don't know if it's after or before. I definitely think it's supposed to be in the same universe because they mention in the like phonographs that there's like 3 books. And so I think that this was another thing I liked is like, cool, now we have like a second book. There's not just one, because the Necronomicon is the one book in the other one. And I don't know if this one has a different name. Like they called it like, I can't remember. And I don't think I took a note on it. They had like a name for it. Oh, the Naturum Demonato. I'm fucking that up. But it's like another volume and it looks a little different than the other book, which is cool. Cause I was like, sweet, we're adding to the lore of this like universe and stuff. Yeah. So I think it's just somewhere else at like probably, same time-ish as the 2013 Evil Dead. Cause it's like modern day.
Okay. That's helpful. I missed that. When they were playing the thing, I missed that there was 3 books. So I was like, okay, this must be a prequel if they found the book buried underneath this apartment complex for the book to make it somehow to the cabin, because it didn't go vice versa. They didn't make it from like the cabin under, unless it's way later, the cabin to underneath like years and years and years of like cement, this bank vault. But anyways, that makes sense for that. Okay.
Yeah, I think the idea, I mean, it could be. But yeah. I don't think it is actually, because they find their own book, right, in the Evil Dead. And so I like the idea that there's like more. It's not just one. Yeah. This could be happening anywhere. And I also liked the idea that there's this like forgotten thing under this building and that's where they find all this stuff. Like I was like, cool. I was totally here for all of that. It's just the rest of the details fell the fuck apart. Like we immediately after we got out of the movie, we were like, why didn't they just try to like tie some fucking sheets together and scale down the outside of the building? Like I feel like this is, again, they wanted to use the setting, but they didn't use it to its full, potential. Like there's one time when she opens a window and she yells at somebody down there. And first of all, they're not as high as I thought they were, right? Like I was like, okay. And one of the people that went to go see it with us was like, I would totally jump out the window and risk some broken legs at this point. Like you're facing certain death by demon versus like maybe I just break some legs or something. But you could also scale down the side of the building. You could have people like trying to do that edge walk across to another unit. Like it's not that. It is like you were saying, just running from room to room. There's not even like a lot of what I felt like vertical travel, right? I mean, I know that the elevator was like broken and the stairs were broken and stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's right. But I even thought that stairwell too. I know they looked down and I know that it was, all broken and everything, but anything like go back there and like you said with sheets, or is there a way to kind of like maybe hang and drop yourself down? Just anything.
And I think that could have been okay if they didn't have the time, but it felt like they had the time. Like I kept waiting for the movie to like kick off. Like I was like, okay, where are we? Fucking Evil Dead 2013. I know I keep, comparing it to that, and that's maybe not fair. But that movie kicks off in the first like 14 fucking minutes, and that movie is relentless. It does not stop. They don't have time to react basically at all. They just like one by one get taken out. And that's what I fucking love about that movie. And so I was excited for this to happen again, but it doesn't. There's all this like this downtime that they could be putting together a plan instead of like, like having heart to hearts. It's like, I don't even care. Like I want to like these people, but I don't,
Yeah, that whole thing. The reason I wondered if it was a prequel, which I was wrong, but I was wondering that baby, what was the purpose of her being pregnant? Does that baby turn into somebody else down the road? Is she a character from that original one from 2013? That's what I was trying to figure out, because it just was, so what? Because the same thing could have, the same sort of storyline of her maybe just looking out for herself and blah, blah, blah. And not really being present for her sister and her nieces and nephew. So it's like, that still could have been like without her being pregnant, because she's taking care of that little girl. And it's not just her. She has to protect the children and the little girl. So
totally. I totally agree. I kept thinking also, this is going to be a demon baby. They're going to take the baby and use it for, I don't know, demon purposes. Is going to fuel their takeover of no, none of that happens. And then it's like, what's the fucking point? It felt almost like they wanted to do something thematically with like motherhood, because I also read something about, let's see. I read something about the monster. The monster bothered me, to be honest. I just was like, this feels, again, corny. Like it feels, and I know that this franchise does have elements of comedy, right? But like this felt different to me. This felt like they were trying to execute the tone of the 2013, but that movie is fucking next level, like realistic in a very visceral, violent sort of way, with like moments of comedy because stuff is so over the top. This is not that. This is straight up corny. So I didn't really like The Monster. And so I read something about it where the director said that like he said it represented like family in the worst way possible. And I'm assuming by that he means like that they're all like connected and like feeding off of each other or something. I'm making some assumptions there. Okay. But earlier in the movie, there is some kind of line, right, where she says, like, you...
about her nursing? Something about nursing them? Yeah.
Like, I don't remember. I don't fucking remember.
I don't remember, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's like, you know, little titty-sucking leeches or something like that. Like,
yes.
Anyway, so that's kind of why I thought that. But then he said that he wanted to give a physical shape to some aspects of raising a child and the way that a parent might see their kids and parenting itself. So I'm like, are you trying to, like, what is this? What are we trying to say about
Does he have children? Because
Motherhood.
I'd be very worried.
I don't know. But then especially you have our main protagonist who's pregnant. So it's like, I don't know. I just was like, but it really felt like they just tossed it in there and they weren't like trying to have a thing, which is fine. These movies are not that, right? These movies are like, you go in expecting just fucking nonstop action and like a wild ride, whether that's funny or really gory or a combination of the two. So it doesn't have to be this like, deeper theme thing, but like, why put it in the first place? Like you keep saying too, like, why does it even matter?
Yeah. Strip it away and just make it like a really good, demonic possession survival movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause that's I think what makes the high rise cool is like the survival aspect of it. Now we have a different challenge to overcome rather than being in a cabin in the woods. Cause that's kind of easy to cut people off, Yeah. Like, oh, you're already far away from everybody. So I don't know.
Yeah, but that city was like so deserted, like Gotham-esque.
Totally.
Like there's only like 2 families in the apartment complex. Or that blonde girl at the end who ends up going to the cabin, right? So she was just like in the apartment next door, just chilling. It's all good.
I guess I was also thinking you just didn't notice that any of this shit was going on. There's like
she's just sleeping,
blood gushing down the elevator shaft, like screaming.
Yeah, I know the next day everything looked normal, but how about that night?
Right. Were you just sleep? Did you pass out through all of that? Okay. All right. Don't buy it.
Yeah, I don't buy it either. I was so confused. I also didn't like the beginning. I didn't like that weird, discombobulated. It almost felt like it should be like a Jurassic Park movie or something, but this weird, discombobulated travel, and then the very lackluster, kind of boring characters. I don't know. And then it just wasn't. She scalps her. That's an interesting thing. She rips her scalp off, but I just wasn't. I don't know. I didn't care. I didn't care either. Didn't matter. When the next scene came and the actor, she was a little more engaging and this kind of aesthetic, I was like, okay, maybe I'll just forget that happened and let's move forward from here.
I mean, again, I don't even think we needed it. Like, why? Why do we have to tie this to this? Like, it just doesn't matter.
That's, I think, why I was confused. I was like, is that how the spirit gets to the cabin? Because now that we're at the cabin, or were they just trying to trick us? They were trying to trick us to think, oh, it's going to be the cabin, but it's not needed. That whole girl, even her, what? Because it has to be put into somebody. Like, I don't know that it was needed. Yeah. Do they need her to show that this thing lives on?
I mean, I guess. Yeah, I guess probably for sequel purposes, but again, we didn't need the beginning part. We just could see the end, and you just keep that, and we know, this thing is gonna continue on. Yeah. Or you just don't, and you just keep having people.
They continued on.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of expect that,
right?
We don't have to see it.
And now again, we've set up that there might be like another book, several books. Like he did say too. I have another note from him. He said, Cronin also talked about how circumstances might make the events from Evil Dead Rise happen again and tease the coming of a 4th Necronomicon. So like, there's endless books that could be, or even other like artifacts or whatever that could bring forth these deadites. And so it's like, you just have so many options that we really don't need to do it. It again felt like we just have to do something in a cabin real quick, but we're not going to be in the cabin for the whole movie. We're going to surprise you. It's going to be, we're going to fuck up your expectations.
I would like to just know more about how those books were made in that time period. Like, how did this come about? Let's just do a movie on that.
Dude, yeah, totally. I could totally take a prequel. You know?
Just how was this made? This dude that's making records. It doesn't even have to be the record guy. It could be right. Just curious more about the books.
Yeah. Ugh. Speaking of the record, I think it's important to note that Bruce Campbell did do a cameo, because he does like a cameo in all of these movies. In the records, you can hear him saying, "Destroy it. It's called the Book of the Dead for a reason."
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought the records, I mean, it's fine. And I thought also it was a little weird here. I guess the word of the day is a little corny. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just like this guy like blah, blah, blah. And then they're destroy it. Da, 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 da. And it was just, I don't know. But it wasn't terrible. I did like actually when the record kept playing and they couldn't get it to stop and it was loud and booming. I don't know.
I kind of liked the aesthetic of this with the like speakers and the like playing it. Something else I will say is I walked out of that movie. I mean, in the movie, I'm thinking, I was thinking to myself, like, you know, maybe 30 minutes in, I'm like, whoever did the sound design on this movie was doing the most, dude. They were given 150 fucking %. Like, I've never experienced a soundtrack like this. And I thought in my head, I'm going to get on our Discord and I'm going to tell people to go watch this movie in the theater so that they can hear the soundtrack. I'm not going to do that now because I overall didn't like the movie. And I mean, I don't know. I'm sure people would like it, but God damn, that sound design, dude. Like every sound, that was amazing. So I'm like, whoever they put on that, dude, like they fucking nailed it. That was amazing.
Totally agree.
Yeah. And then there, just a quick production note. I guess there's a sound of Ellie biting out a man's eyeball in the hallway. Again, forgot. Didn't even remember that part. It's actually an audio recording of Bruce Campbell furiously biting into an apple. So there's another cameo for you.
Oh, good job. You know, you mentioned this at the very beginning, and now that I think about it, I really don't remember any of the deaths. I remember vomiting.
So much vomiting.
Vomit. So much vomiting. I remember the vomiting. And I remember certain scenes of the main actress, you know, like talking to her little girl through the peephole, and the little girl opens the door. For the love of God.
I know. Come on.
Can we just... Okay.
No one.
And I do remember the scissors going up her nose just because it made me flinch when they did it.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I could imagine the pain of it. But I mean, that was it. There was nothing. I don't even remember how any of those people died originally.
In the hallway.
No.
Even? Yeah, I don't remember that.
In the hallway, in the house. I mean, I remember the one girl being, oh yeah, it was that doll thing. She was
this is one of the things I liked. I liked this because they really set it up. And by the time, I think the group that I was with, we were all just feeling kind of like, oh, fuck, this is going sideways. You know, like this movie is not great. So then when she gets impaled, you know, through the head on Stephanie, I was all fucking Stephanie. Come on, Stephanie. And I liked that part for that funny reason that it just was like, that was good.
Yeah, but I didn't hate it. And she was pulling it out. How did the brother die?
Lit on fire.
Oh.
But I also don't remember. I just remember reading that in the synopsis when I was like putting it back together.
Are you sure? I think that is the one, their sister that was swallowing glass was the one lit on fire.
Maybe. No, maybe you're right.
That's not good though.
No. Yeah, we can't remember.
Yeah.
See? That's bad.
It was 2 hours long and I just watched it on Thursday and I can't remember.
See, yeah. And you're even like more recent than me. So this is not good. To me, it wasn't even just like that. It was so much in a row that you can't remember. They were fucking lame, bro. Like I wrote down one of the things that I really didn't like about this movie is that it doesn't have that same bite. It doesn't have the same visceral nature that the 2013 one does. Everything that happens in the 2013 version, I've watched that movie like 4 fucking times. And every time I watch that movie, I cringe harder than any other movie I've watched. Because the violence and the gore is so, I want to say like realistic. Like obviously it's over the top, but the things that are happening to people are terrible and you would never want them to happen to you. People getting their hands like fucked up by crowbars and like, oh, the tongue. Yeah. Oh my God. Incredible. But then I was like, this movie, I just took a few notes on ones that I felt like were stupid, but all of them were like this. Number one, the scalping in the beginning. That thing comes off like a perfect like oval. Like it's such an obvious prop that I'm like, again, the realism.
Because she didn't use a knife like when you've seen scalpings in the past and movies and such. She just ripped the
and it came off in a perfect oval. Stop. Yes. You know, like that's ridiculous. Hated it. And then she proceeds to like walk 100 feet out to the dock, the boat, whatever. Okay. Then the eating of the glass. I was thinking, this is something that should really bother me, but it just doesn't. Like, I just don't care. I'm like, whatever. And then I think the cheese grater was the most egregious to me. Is that the right word? Egregious. Egregious was what I was like. Yeah. It was the most egregious to me because I was like, first of all, they made posters with the cheese grater. So I'm thinking, oh, this cheese grater. It's going to come in. It's going to be a real big deal. We're going to get some fucked up cheese grater action. No, they cheese grate her calf, which is arguably like the best place to get gratered. Like it looked like some scratches that you would get from like fingernails. It was so lame. I was like, obviously you cheese grater the face or something. Your hand. The
face or the sensitive areas, if it's like the groin or the nipples, the breasts, the
something.
Like anything but your calf.
But your calf? Yeah, I mean, somebody could grate your calf like 4 times and you'd probably still be able to walk. You know, like
it would hurt. You'd be like, ow, but you can walk.
I'm just like, okay, again, it's like you thought you knew what you were going to do and then you just did like the worst fucking version of what could have been cool. Ugh. Yeah. There were two things in this movie and I figured you would have been disappointed as well. And the two, definitely creepy crawlies in my tummy wummy. I was like, Felicia's going to fucking hate that along with me.
Yes.
Do you?
I do.
Just double checking.
No, I do. And her whole thing, even like the whole thing, there was not one thing scary about it. I thought I was like, let's just stick to the main girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was another thing that I like forgot, but you mentioned it earlier. And I was like, yes, this is why I thought Felicia would fucking hate this movie. But I don't remember. It'll come back to me, I'm sure, as we keep talking, but yeah. So lame. My friends are going to they're not going to let me pick movies anymore. How did Steve feel? Was he like wildly disappointed also?
Okay. So he didn't love it.
Yeah.
He liked the same things we did. He thought the head actress was really good. And he thought there was some good cinematography there. He thought the story was terrible. He thought he said it, he didn't like the beginning either. Then he thought maybe it was going to be okay when the mom starts to become possessed. And then it was just shit. But he said he didn't like it, but he liked it better than Nope.
God damn it. I hate that this keeps coming back up.
It always is what he says. And I'm like, you are crazy. He said the thing that this movie did that Nope did as well, that's why he doesn't like it so much, is he felt like it was just a money grab. That's how he feels about Nope. I don't know. But he feels like they were just like, oh, we can make a bunch of money doing this, so we don't really need to do it good. Because all the people who love Evil Dead are going to be excited to come. We're going to make tons of money regardless. So we don't really need to make it a good movie, like a truly good, thoughtful movie. See, I don't agree with that with Nope, but that's what he felt like with Nope 2. He thought it was just because Jordan Peele's name. It was going to get enough people to watch this movie and make a ton of money because of his name. And so wasn't that the movie was way too long, way too drawn out. He thought both of them should be trimmed down, cut. His favorite part of the whole movie was the whole thing of Nope was with the monkey in the TV show.
Yeah.
And that it was so well done. Just make the movie about that. But anyways, we know that already. This movie, he thought the same thing. Like they just tried to shove as much stuff in because they knew that they'd make a ton of money, but it was way too long. They should have trimmed it back and they should have made more meaningful execution of the movie, which I agreed with him with that, but not the Nope comment, of course.
Yeah, same here. I will say though that I think it could have been way worse, right? Like they could have they definitely could have done a way worse cash grab on this movie. I think it wasn't terrible. And I haven't said that yet. You said that in the beginning, but I agree that it wasn't terrible. It might be worth going to see in theaters, even just for the sound design alone, for like the experience of watching it. But it is a fucking corny movie. Like don't go in expecting the same level of, I don't even know what to, I almost want to call the 2013 one like mean. Like that movie feels sinister to me. in a very great way. Because obviously, you know, we love to be like actually scared. Yeah. And that movie gets your blood pumping, dude. Like, I love it. And this one was just such a fucking miss. It was like,
I agree.
Dude,
yeah,
corny.
they could have done worse. They could have not had Alyssa Sutherland.
Yeah, true.
And if they didn't, I don't know that there would have been anything redeeming besides the sound. So then go ahead and like, I don't know, listen to the soundtrack with your headphones. And you got the best part of the movie.
Totally. Like, you could tell probably what's going on just listening to it, honestly. Yeah, that lady's great. She was also in Vikings. Because I was like, I know I recognize her, but I couldn't figure out where. I
haven't seen that.
In Vikings.
Okay, I'm going to have to watch that. She was great. I love her. I hope I see her in a lot more.
Yeah.
As a scary character, because she was
great.
So good.
So good.
Mm-hmm. So good. So good. I want a whole... See, that's why I'm bummed, I think. It just came to me. I wanted a whole movie of her. She was so good. Just have her be the only monster. Add some more, though, of... more rooms, more apartments, more ways to run away and her chase you. I like the buildup of when she came in all weird and she's making the eggs. Yeah. And you wouldn't assume that, oh, my mom's possessed. That's not where your mind's going to go. Maybe ours. Right. But normal people know. And then she vomits and she dies. And you'd be like,
the vomit. That was the other thing that I was like, I know Felicia's going to fucking dislike this movie because we both don't like gross out stuff and there's so much vomiting. It was just like fucking stuff. They were like, we're vomiting worms. We're vomiting white stuff. We're vomiting like blood, black, like anything you can think of. We're fucking vomiting it. And it just, that's not our jam. It's like, it becomes more about like the gross out factor than like an actual, like, I don't know, realistic portrayal of like violence and gore. And like, I'm here for that, not here for the gross stuff. Anyway, sorry, keep going.
No, I was wondering if there was a nod to The Exorcist, because in that moment, she looked very much with the color of her hair. She looked like that little girl in The Exorcist, and with the vomiting. I thought, oh, I wonder, I guess just because it's done in another movie doesn't mean it's always a nod. Maybe just when you're possessed, you vomit. That's what happens. So I could take that. But anyways, I agree. I'm so sick of seeing people vomit. We're vomiting
Me too.
More. Stop.
Yeah.
Oh, but she vomits and dies. And then you wouldn't necessarily be like, we need to get the fuck out of here, because you might think something happened. Like, I don't know what. I'm not a doctor, but something went fucking crazy with my mom and now she's dead. And when she came back to life, you'd be like, oh shit. I liked the putting her in the tub with the ice. And I liked all of this in the sense that it's really fucked up, but maybe it's not like we need to get out of here and abandon her just yet. Yeah. Right? Something's wrong with her. When she scales the bathroom ceiling, okay, guys, they're all just sitting there. Whoa, 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 whoa. And then she comes down and they're still kind of just scampering. Okay, something's fucked up. Right. She is scaling the ceiling. She's not having an aneurysm or like whatever it is. It could be that it's not like a virus. There's something real wrong. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Let's run.
Something, right? Yeah. No, let's just go into the living room and chat about it.
Yeah. Kid.
I don't even remember how they just debilitate her after she comes out of the... I don't even remember.
I don't
remember how she gets outside of the apartment.
I don't either. I don't either.
Too bad.
I think they force her out and then she attacks all the other people and that's how they die.
I loved that though. Yeah. I mean, I liked the view and her just going batshit crazy on everybody who's walking around and that view through the peephole. I like how she was sitting and the little girl goes and then she just kind of levitates up, like pops up and then turns around and is like, there you are. She did really good. But
yeah. Props to Alyssa Sutherland.
Good job, Alyssa.
That and the sound design, the only redeeming parts of this movie to us.
I agree.
Oh, man. Okay, that's it for me for notes. Anything else?
Nope.
That you have?
Nope.
So then let's rate this bad boy. Okay, do you want to kick us off?
I think I'm going to give it a 2.8.
Okay.
So I think I'm right around the Letterboxd users. And it's really hard because I was looking at my previous scores for different things at around 2.7 up to 3, somewhere within those and it's really hard because some of them I look at and I'm like, no, I think I liked that more. And you know what? I did really like her performance and the things that we talked about I enjoyed. I didn't hate it by any means. I didn't feel like, oh my God, when is this over? So I think I'll give it a 2.8.
Okay. Letterboxd gave it a 3.6 out of 5.
I only remember the 3. So
yeah. I'm just saying it's maybe like a whole point, almost a whole point higher.
That's true. That's true.
But I'm right in line with you. I think I'm going to give it a 2.7.
Okay.
Because I liked it. I was like looking at my 2.75s and I definitely like a couple of them. I'm like, I liked more for weird reasons. And so I just couldn't go quite as high as a 2.75. I don't think it was terrible. Like, I didn't hate it as much as I did Megan. I give Megan a 2.5. I mean, I didn't hate that movie either. I just like, I don't know. It was frustrating. And I think this one was maybe like less frustrating. There were some good parts that I liked more. But both of those movies, in my opinion, squandered their opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
In different ways.
For sure.
Bummer for us. Weird. I feel like we're on an island, dude. I feel like most people fucking have loved this.
Yeah, I agree. We got to stay true to ourselves.
Yeah. Yep. I was like, sometimes I don't know how you are going to feel, but I was like, I think she's going to dislike this also.
Yeah, we're aligned on this. I'm glad.
Yeah, same brain on this one.
Well, that was fun. Sorry, everybody, if we disappointed you. But yeah, definitely share your thoughts and let us know. We would like to hear your opinion. We are going to take 2 weeks off while Tawny goes around the world to all these different weddings. It's wedding season for Tawny. So we're going to take a couple weeks off. I do have on here, am I going to record something with TT? I just got to sit down and do it. Maybe I will. Maybe it'll be a surprise. But for sure, we have an episode coming out on the 24th. We are going to be doing popcorn. Never even heard of this. And we're going to be recording with Hope from the film Rescue and Jaguar Sharks. So we recorded with them and it was so much fun. And so now she's going to be on our show and I'm excited. Yeah,
that'll be fun. I've also never heard of that movie, so
yeah, me neither. I looked up just like the movie poster to take a look and see. So
okay.
All right, everyone. If you still like us after this review, please do find us on social media at 2 Chicks in a Horror Flick. That's where you can find us on Instagram, or just go to your favorite social media platform and search for 2 Chicks in a Horror Flick. We will be there. What else, Tawny?
If you want to support the show, you can give us a like, review, and subscribe on whatever podcatcher you're listening to us on. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for sticking with us while life happens over here. And we'll be back shortly for more consistent episodes. And until then, we hope you have such a good night. No nightmares.